Hello, welcome to another edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and yeah, this is, as always, our second Sudoku video of the day. We try and do one each every day just to keep you guys entertained, and because people say they like seeing them, so we keep going and providing more. We find it great fun because both Simon and myself love doing Sudoku, so we get the chance to bring that to you as well. We also bring you some crosswords on Fridays. We bring you some streaming. I think that's planned for Wednesday evening, our time. Do check the live button though on the channel and you will find out when that's booked in for, and you can chat along with us as we stream. I think Simon has a plan for a new game next time. We're looking into that. Now, what else is going on? You can get all of our apps, which are fantastic, and they feature Sandwich Sudoku and Line Sudoku and Thermo Sudoku, some of the features within this puzzle, which is a lovely idea. Relatively simple rules. If you have seen Thermo renban Sudoku before, you will exactly know what to do with this puzzle. I will be tackling it in a moment. I do, of course, want to mention that on Patreon, loads of extra content always, including all the fun of the fair, our carnival extravaganza this month. Check it out. There's 4 puzzles and then a 5th sort of exiting puzzle that gives you the solution string to enter, and that's available on our Patreon site. You've got till the 20th to enter the competition, and we urge you to give it a try because a lot of people have managed it and said it was good. That's what we like. And of course there's our merchandise and Sven SUDOKU PAD. All the links under the video will tell you everything about the channel and what we've got going on. Now, what you have not seen on the catalogue of our puzzles maintained by Webby, which is listed amongst those links, is any puzzles by SUDOKU, who has created, well, SUDOKU told us that it's their 2nd puzzle ever, and it's been very popular, and it's called Renbanku V2, so I'm assuming this is version 2. I don't know if that means Renbanku was the first one, or whether Renbanku is the 2nd puzzle and this is version 2 of that puzzle, but maybe SUDOKU will tell us in the comments. But the rules, let's do those. These are relatively straightforward. As I say, normal Sudoku rules apply, so we'll be putting 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. A purple renban line contains a set of non-repeating but consecutive digits in any order, however. A clue outside the grid, like this 12, gives the sum of the digits between the 1 and the 9 in that row or column. So in this column, you might have 1 here and 9 here, and the digits in between would have to add up to 12. Digits on a thermometer must strictly increase from the bulb end. We have 1 2-cell thermometer. No, I am not going to fully pencil mark it to start the puzzle. I know that's a trap because people know I like to pencil mark thermos. It looks to me like a disambiguator thrown in so we can resolve the puzzle at the end. I don't know. That's often what a 2-cell thermometer is doing, roguishly appearing in a puzzle. Give it a try on the first link under the video. Yeah, and be nice to SUDOKU in the comments, even though SUDOKU is very keen on portmanteauing the word Sudoku with something else. Anyway, let's get cracking. Let's give it a go. Okay, so we've got a lot of long renbans. Yeah, okay, renbans are the opposite of thermos. We have lots of long renbans and the solitary tiny thermo. Okay, well, I'm going to start with my normal effort at Sandwich Sudoku. I like to colour the grid green and red, which don't try and stick up for the colourblind red-green people, because in fact they say that the green and red on our palette is acceptable. So I'm going to rely on that anyway. We've got these 3 cells are green, and green in this case means there are no 1s or 9s on them. Now, how do I know that? Let me try and explain. So, in this column, which has a 29 clue, we know that the sandwich digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 29. Now, if you add the 1 and the 9 to a total of 29, you get to 39. Now, we have to make use of the secret, which we occasionally tell our closest friends, and which involves all rows, columns, and boxes in a Sudoku adding up to the same number. It happens every time. And that number is 45. So only share that with people who won't misuse the power of the secret. Now, that means that the numbers not involved in either the 1 and the 9 or the numbers sandwiched between them only add up to 6. And I'm going to call them the outies. They're the numbers outside the sandwich. And they can't involve 1 because that's obviously one of these kind of crust numbers. So it's either a 2-4 pair, 2 digits, or a single 6, 1 digit. And they must occupy cells within this area, those outies. And therefore the sandwich crusts must be inside those. These are the most inside positions possible. And it couldn't be both of those. The other way of looking at this column is that the sandwich digits add up to 29. 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5 is short of that, is 26. So there must be at least 5 digits, maybe 6 in the sandwich sum, and the middle 3 must be involved. Oh, 31 is even bigger. Right, well, you can just apply what I just said to the number 31. We deduct that from 35, which is the biggest possible sandwich total, and we get 4. 4 is the total of the outies. Now, 4 cannot be done in 2 numbers because 1 can't be one of those numbers. So the outies in this row are a single outie that is either there or there. One of those digits is a 4. Actually, let's just pencil mark that. Then if 4 is there, that's where 1 and 9 sit. If 4 is there, that's where 1 and 9 sit. In either case, all these 5 cells are green and are not 1 or 9. Okay. Or I think all of these renban lines are 8 cells long. It really does look like that. Right, I've just worked out that. That's very important. What it means is that each renban line is going to have exactly 1 crust on it. It's either going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, having 1, 1 and no 9. Or it's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, having 1, 9 and no 1. Actually, every renban line is going to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on it. And either a 1 or a 9. That's unusual. Okay. But on this renban line, the 1 or the 9 is in one of those cells. And there's only one of them. Yeah, I don't know. This feels very usable. Right. Row 1, column 1 is a vital digit here. I think at first glance, this digit may be unique in the puzzle and exciting. And that is because it sees every digit on this renban. And when I say sees, I mean it's either in the same row or in this case in the same box. I could have meant the same column, but that doesn't matter. This digit is in the same box as those 5 and in the same row as those 3. So it has to be different from all the numbers on this renban. The only number missing from this renban is a 1 or a 9. So this is a 1 or a 9, and we have got a really good start. That is a crust. In this 29 sandwich, those next 5 are definitely all in the sandwich, and this clue is definitely not. This cell at the bottom is definitely not, because we must have an or some outies. That means that we now can place the 2 reds in the bottom row, and we know where that 4 outie goes in the bottom row, and that is now in the outies of column 1, which have to add up to 6. So I think we know where the other one goes and what it is. And there we go. There's our little start to the puzzle. And we've got a 19 sum in row 1, which is at least 3 cells. 8 plus 7 is only 15. The outies take away 19 from 35, the outies add up to 16, and that 2 is at least 3. And they have to come at the end of the row because of this crust coming at the beginning. So one of these two is a crust, and that is the only crust on this renban, so that is green. Now, can we do something else along those lines? This line has got its crust, so those are green. This line has got its crust, so they're all green. This is green because we've got both crusts in this box. There's only 1 1 and 1 9 in each box. This needs a crust. I was going to say, so this can't be 1, but that's not necessarily true. Because if the crust that this needed was a 1 and that was a 1, this could still be a 9. Yeah, when you're painting in 2 crusts, it pays to be a little bit careful with how we go about it. Now, what else have we done? Don't know. It's now occurring to me that there aren't that many sandwich clues. I mean, we've basically finished using the ones in row 9 and column 1, because however we dispose the digits 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 here, they're going to add up to 29, and the same with 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 here. Yeah, I just need... It's clearly all about the geometry, I think, this puzzle. I don't see how to use the 20 sandwich clue or the 12 one. In row 4, we've got to put 2 crusts. We can never put 2 on one single line. So one of them goes on each line, and every other cell on those lines is not a crust. So we get a lot more green. Then in rows 5 and 6, this is a bit weird, we're going to need 4 crust cells, 2 1s and 2 9s. Now obviously the green cells don't have them, and this long line, this 8 cell line, only has 1 crust. So the other 3 have to be in these 5 cells. Yeah, that's lovely actually. I was going to say we have to be very careful because these 2 could be both crusts, but there's a sandwich clue in the row that says they can't. So one of these is a crust. It can't be both because we've already had a crust in column 2. One of these is a crust. It can't be both because of the 9 clue. And this must be the 3rd of the 4 crusts. There's also going to be one on this renban. So one of these is a crust. I'm just going to mark that with the flashed cells. One of those, oops, is a crust. Then everything else remaining in this column is not. Oh, we haven't used up the 2 anywhere else. It doesn't do that much. That's really annoying. I thought that was going to be a huge breakthrough. It doesn't seem to do that much. Now there's 1 crust on here. Oh, that's simple. Oh my goodness, yes, it's much simpler in rows 7, 8, 9, where there are, well, rows 7 and 8, there are again 4 crusts amongst 2 rows. Only one of them can be on that line. One of them is there. These 2 are both crusts. Wow, I mean, this is odd. This is teaching me new things about sandwiches and crusts. So those are all not sandwich because we've got the 2 in the box. One of these is, but we've got a 20 clue in this column. So I think those 3 are in the sandwich. It's at least 3 cells long. That we've made green already. That's not in the sandwich. The crust is in one of these 2 cells. You can have a 5-cell 20 sandwich. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 add up to 20. So I can't be sure that the crust is here, although it seemed, well, it's sort of likely. I mean, it would be a useful deduction on placing numbers in the puzzle. Now, in this row, the sandwich, clearly we've got a crust here. The sandwich is at least 2 cells long. 8 and 6 would add up to 14. Oh, annoyingly, I can't rule this out from being a crust, because if you used low numbers, you could put 2, 3, 4, 5 there. But in this column, 12 is either 2 or 3 cells. 4 cells would be too many. So the crust is in one of those two. Right, that's quite big. So the crust is in one of those two. The rest of the cells in the column and the box are non-crust, because we've got the count. One of these two on the thermo is a crust. If it's a 9, it's there. If it's a 1, it's not. Oh, I see. The thermo is going to be there to disambiguate the 1 and the 9 cells. Oh, that's lovely. Otherwise, you couldn't do that for those. Maybe. I mean, that's probably what I think now. Anyway, one of these is a crust. Oh, there had to be one crust in that run of cells in that row, so that it's there. This one is not a crust. One of these is a crust in row 4. Have we got any more sandwich clues to use to place these crusts? Not really. Ooh, I'm going to have to do some digits. I mean, I shouldn't be scared of that. It's perfectly normal in a sandwich Sudoku. But well, yeah, I think I am going to have to. Annoyingly, the 12 clue is not very explicit. 3 cells to make 12. There's a variety of ways. They don't involve 8. That's about all I know. Ah, this... Yeah, I mean, that's the sort of question we're now going to have to ask. Where did 2 and 4 go in row 7? Well, they can't go on the line they're already on, so they go somewhere over here. Oh, okay, okay, that's interesting. So 2 and 4 are in those 3 cells, but another question is that it's all law of leftovers stuff, this. Now, in row 9, 6 of the cells are on this renban. The other 3 include the other crust which can't go on the renban, and these 2 digits which have to go on the renban somewhere because they're green. One of them is 4 and one of them is this one. Now the 4 is going to have to be there because the positions for 2 and 4 were in those 3 cells, and that's the overlap. This digit is the same as this digit, and I mean, I could give it a yellow flash, but it's not really that helpful. It's going to be in one of those 2. 4 is now going to be in one of these 3, along with a crust cell. Yeah, this is how we're going to have to do this puzzle, is with these kind of leftover calculations. So in this box, loads of the digits are on that renban. The 2 cells that didn't get into the box on that renban must be those 2. Oh, this is going to be a challenge of marking up cells, I think. Ugh, right. Just going to have to play a bit careful with how I do this. Oh, we've got a 17 sandwich here. That is at least 3 cells, so that's green. Oh, okay, I hadn't used this enough. One of those 2. Oh, the 9 sandwich here is done. The crusts have to be separated by at least 2 cells, so there they are. Bingo, right. These are all green, in fact, now. That's good. These 2 add up to 9. Don't know what they are. There's lots of combos. One of these is a crust, and 14 is either 2 or 3 cells. One of these is a crust, and 17 is either 3 or 4. So, yeah, one must be in box 5, and one must be in box 4. That's not really helping with this stuff, but never mind. I've got that 20 sandwich. That didn't tell us. The 19 sandwich doesn't tell us how many cells are involved. Oh, this is getting trickier than I'd hoped. Okay, I can see there is a 2 on one of those cells. Not very interesting, but these... How do you do this? Oh gosh, I'm going to have to find some relationships between cells. Now maybe there are places that see everything on some renban that I can use. Gosh, if this is straightforward, I don't get it. Those two, right. Oh, look at that. Where does this digit go on this renban? It's a lovely question. I don't know how long that's taken me to think of, but it's vital, I think, because it cannot, it is on the renban because it's green. Every renban in this puzzle has all the green digit identities on it and one red. That green cell can't go in any of these by normal Sudoku rules, so it does go here on that renban. And therefore we now know these two cells are red. That one's green. One of those, it doesn't do any of the... Oh, it does. That's an 8-6 pair, making 14. Interesting. That pair adds up to 7. And that is not a 6 or an 8. 6 and 8 have to be in those 3 cells. Oh, 6 and 8 in row 5 have to be on the perimeters because they're green cells, so they're not there, and they're not allowed to appear on this line again. Oh, this is bonkers. Okay, come on, concentrate now. And we've got to find more. And annoyingly, that didn't hit any rows or columns with sandwich clues in. So one of these... Oh, maybe I can do this whole... We need 4 of them in 2 rows. We need 6 sandwich cells in the top 3 rows, crust cells. We've got 1. There's going to be 1 here. That's 2. Now, these remaining there's going to be 1 exactly on that line. That's 3. Then we need 3 more in this group of cells. So those 2 are red because we can only have 1 on this one. Now let's forget that flashing. I'm now going to colour 1s and 9s. And I think I might find out something. So blue against orange, blue there, orange there, blue there, orange there. I should do, why not do the columns in order virtually? Well, now I have to come out of columns 4, 5, 6, but this is carrying on very neatly. That's orange. This one is blue. Right, all the red cells I've marked, I have colours. Yes, this cell sees orange and blue, both identities of 1 and 9. So it can't be a 1 or a 9, and we get to complete the column and the row. And this one is orange. There we go. That was good. This one obviously is neither. I don't know why I've not coloured that before. This one sees orange and blue. So that is not a 1 or a 9. One of these is, and that is not. And now we've found, oh, I've hit the wrong button. Now we find orange down here. It's not a 4, it's a 1 or a 9 crust. Now, I hope we can get, yeah, that's gone green. We don't, I don't know. One of these is blue and one of these is blue. How do I disambiguate now? I don't know. Okay, let's do the numbers. I don't understand how this is going to actually ever disambiguate. I suppose with the other digits, I may be able to place one of them on this line. Wow, that's bonkers. Anyway, this is now 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because that's the only way to get to 20 in 5 cells. So that's a 6. 8 and 7 are down here, where I've got 4 and 2 pencil marked. 8 and 7 are there, so now I can place 4 in row 8. Oh, this feels attritional, but it's probably all I can do to solve the puzzle, is work out where digits can go. Ah, no, I've had another idea. Right, there are a large number of these renbans, as I pointed out at the beginning. There are, in fact, 8 of them. Now, in the puzzle as a whole, there are obviously 9 of every digit, 1 in each box, say. 8 each of the digits 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 appear on the 8 renbans. So there are going to be left in the puzzle 8 other green cells that contain 1 each of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And they are here and here. And these 3, that's 5. That one is 6. There are 2 more, and I can't find them. They must be in the white cells at the moment. So only 1 of each white domino is red, so the other one is green. So this might help. It's like an extra region of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You see, those can't be 6 or 8. So in this box, well, unless one of those is 6 or 8. 6 and 8. Okay, that may not be that helpful. That's really annoying. I thought that was going to be very helpful, and I've probably misled myself. Okay, maybe I just need to chase digits around the grid. Or, no, those add up to 19. Take that away from 35. Those outies add up to 16. They're the same digits on this line over here. How can I use that? I don't know. Oh, this pair adds up to 9 without 6 or 8 in it. So it's either 2, 7 or 4, 5. We've got a 4 there. So 4, 5 can only be one way round. Now that digit was going to appear here, wasn't it? So in fact, this is a pair that adds up to 9 as well. Not that helpful maybe, but nonetheless it's true. And that digit that appears there is in one of those 2 cells. Oh gosh, I don't know. Oh, those 2 appear in those 2 cells. Let's call them both A. They're over here in box 1 because they mustn't be on the same line. So then they're, lovely, right, they're in these 2 cells. Oh, yeah, they are, because they're not on this line because that's already got both of them. Right, and they're both green, so that's green, and now we know these 2 are red, and we know what number this is, because it's 1 or 9 and it's on the bulb. It must be 1. Oh. Well, I'm just going to highlight manually all of those cells. They're now all 1s, and I've gone from having no digits in the grid to having 9, and in a moment I'm going to have 18 digits in the grid. And there we go. And I can take out the colouring, can't I? In fact, I can take out all the green colouring because we've got all the crusts. It doesn't really matter. In fact, I might put in the green colouring in sandwiches where we haven't actually identified the totals yet or how they work. The 31's effectively done, the 29's effectively done by having done the outies. Okay, so these add up to 17, and these digits are from 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Could be 2, 3, 4, 8. 2, 3, 5, 7. Oh, does one of this 6, 8 pair have to be in there? No, don't think so. No, not quite. That one is in one of those cells and therefore in one of those two, but that could be a 6-8 pair. Bother. That cell can't be anywhere there or there, so it's in one of those two and one of those two. Oh gosh, those two, I don't know. Oh, this is tricky. That's, yeah, this is a 7-8 pair. I've marked them. 2 is there. These are from 3, 5 and 6. Those digits in this box are in those two cells because they can't be on the same line. Oh, if I knew one of them was a 5, that would be a 2-7 pair adding up to 9. I don't. That digit is here on this line. Got a sum of 12 here. That doesn't include an 8. It does, it could be 2, 3, 7, 2, 4, 6 or 3, 4, 5. Oh, this is getting harder as we go through it. That was good with the A's. Why? Oh, and I don't want to forget that thing about the extra cells. Yeah, okay. So the extra region of cells of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is now in orange. That one can't be in any of those cells in this cage, so it's in one of those two. That's weird. And that one is also in one of those two. Now, I just have to find out what they are, and I'm in business. Those add up to 12. Now, those add up to 16. That could include a 2. These add up to 16. Oh, gosh. This is difficult, isn't it? These 3 cells are in those 3. That's quite interesting because it includes a pair that add up to 9 and that orange one. Those 2 are in those 2 cells. I don't know how to get these cells passed around. This is very tricky. That one has to be in one of those 2. The other of these is that one, which must be in one of those. This 7 or 8 must be over here somewhere. It's so hard to pencil mark one of 2 cells as having one of 2 digits in. That's just so vague. There's probably a much clearer way of seeing the geometry here. So we've got 8, 6 on this one. These, those add up to 9. By the sandwich rule, and yet all of these digits are 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, which add up to 21. So these add up to 12, just like these do. If that's 4, 5, this is 2, 3, 7. Wow, how do we do this? Got that 4. I don't know. Sorry, I'm not having any brilliant ideas. Here's an idea. I think this 17 sum has to contain a 2. I may have said that already. 3, 4, 5, 6 would add up to 18, so it does. There is a 2 in that. Now that means those cells aren't 2, but these 2 aren't 2 as well, because of the 2 we've got here. So either that is a 2-7 pair, or it's a 4-5 pair and this is a 2. Then 2 would be in one of these cells. What would that teach us, guys? Oh, well, that would make that a 2. Oh, gosh, okay, there are ramifications, but they have to be found. They have to be found and teased out of this puzzle. Goodness. Oh, hang on. Those, no, I was going to say those add up to 19 and those 16. Yeah, these add up to 19. I don't see how that helps. Right, if I could say this couldn't be a 4, then I'd be having a good result. If this was a 4, one of those 3 is a 4, and that's a definite 4. Then one of those 2 is a 4. Okay, let's keep going with this. This is slightly interesting now. And one of these 2 is a 4. Ooh. Then there's an X-wing, and one of those 2 is a 4. Oh, that can't be a 4. Oops, sorry, that one can't be a 4. So there's a double. 4s would be diagonally opposed here. Oh. Looks like it does work, but let's just rethink that again. If that's a 4, one of those is a 4 and that's a 4. Then one of those 2 is a 4 and that uses up all the positions on that line. And suddenly one of those 2 is a 4. Okay, I can't rule out a 4 from there. I want to really quite badly, but it might be a 4, in which case it's never going to want to be ruled out, is it? Oh, no, this didn't work. Right, got it. It didn't work. So let's do it again with these 4s. We've got the 3 4s in the bottom rows. If row 5, column 3 is a 4, okay, I know what's going to go wrong. One of those is a 4, and that's a 4. That makes one of these a 4, one of these a 4. By the X-wing, one of those is a 4. Now, look at these ones that I've got highlighted as 3 4s. They're on 2 lines, and that would put 2 4s, 3 4s on 2 lines, which is illegal. So that is not a 4. My goodness, if that is it, SUDOKU, that's hard. Anyway, we now know this is a 2-7 pair. That digit on this line has to be there, so we've got another 2-7 pair. This had better help. Right, this is a 3-4-5 triple, adding up to 12 for what it's worth on that line. Now, we don't have 2 and 7 in these cells. These 4 cells add up to 17 according to the sandwich. These 4 either add up to 14, if that's a 7, or if it's a 2, they add up to 19. So this cell is either 2 more than that cell, which it can't be, because the only way of doing that, I was going to say is that's a 5 and that's a 3, and that can't be a 3. I've just thought if that's a 4 and that's a 2, that's a 2, this is 3, 5, 7. Oh, bother. Okay, that could be a 2. Right, I was going to say this is either 3 more than that cell, which I think is quite likely, 6, 7 or 8, or 2 less, and that will only apply if this is a 4 and that's a 2. If it's a 5, one of those is a 3, so that can't be a 3. That's why I'm saying that's not possible. Now, can there be an 8 in this? Yes, 2, 3, 4, 8 does work, and that would be a 5. Oh, bother. Thought I was being clever. Those 2 digits are on those 2 cells on this line, and they're from 3, 4, and 5. So we've got another 3, 4, 5 triple here. Oh, and this is a 20 sum, so that's a 2 to make it up. Right, we got a 2 in the grid somehow. That 2 is not there because we've got a 2. In row 3, it's here. In row 1, it's in one of those cells. Ah, that 2 is not in the 12 sum, which is also 3, 4, 5 now. And in fact, this cell is not a 2. We've got a 3, 4, 5 triple there, 1 there, and 1 there, snaking through the grid. That has become a 2 by Sudoku. One of these 2 is a 2. We know which one because that sum has to have a 2 in it. It's there. Now that's not a 2. This is definitely bigger than that, and that tells us what this digit is. I've forgotten quite what the maths was on that, so let's try and do that again. If this was a 2, then these are 3, 4, 5, 7, adding up to 19, making this one 2 bigger than that, because these 4 add up to 17, and those 3 are common digits. That cannot now be 2 bigger than that, so that is not a 2. That is a 7. And that is a 2, and I can get rid of the green in this, actually in both of those areas, and down here. We've only got one green left, but that's because I never did green this one, which is still an uncertain combination of 19. Anyway, that's a 7. Now, we've got a 7 in orange. This orange extra region, let's make it yellow for contrast now, sorry. This yellow extra region is a set of the digits 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that one in this box can't be in yellow, so it's in one of those cells. So, I don't know which one it is. That's annoying. It's in one of those 2 cells in row 4. Ah, well, the 7 there says it's not here. And that has to be 3 bigger than that. So this is 7. Then we get 7 here in column 8. That fixes 8 and 7 as a pair. 7 there. I might have nearly finished the 7s in the grid. One of those is a 7. Ah, this line, no, one of those 2 is a 7. Yes, we can't have a 7 here. And this line needs a 7. It's got to get it there. And that's going to finish off all the 7s. Lovely. Right. Oh, this is weird. There may have been easier ways of doing this whole thing. Now, those 3 cells added up to 16. We've got a 7 in them. Oh, this is either a 4-5 or a 3-6 pair. This is a 6-8 pair in this column. So that can't be an 8 because that can't be a 1. So that's a 6, that's a 3. That's, oh, 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spot. Light. Right, 7 and 4 were going to be these 2 yellow cells. So that one's a 4. This has got a 4 on it. 4 in column 3 is there. That's become a 2. These are 5 and 8. And I know the order, and I can get rid of all the green colouring. I can get rid of the yellow colouring as well, why not? It's done its job. We've just got that one, which adds up to 17, 27, 34. These add up to 11, and they're either 5, 6, or 3, 8. Ah! I mean, I think we're closing in on a finish there. 7, 6, 3 were these cells, so that's a 3, 6 pair. This is a 5, 8 pair, these A's. That's what A became, and that's not a 5 now. 8, 1, 7, 9, 4. I mean, I think we can turn over to Sudoku without having to think very hard about these digits. Okay, 8 in that row, in row 7, is placed. That fixes the 5-8 pair up there. That makes this a 3-6 pair. That's a 5. This is a 3-6 pair because they were the same as that. I mean, I do remember that much. So this is a 5. They are a 4-3 pair. That's a 5. That's a 3 now. All these 3, 4, 5 triples are fully unwound. I mean, I must be able to do this sum now. 5, 17 sum here. Yes, that's now a 3-8 pair, making the 11 over here that I worked out. Okay. 6, 11, 2, 4. Does the green sum add up to 17? Yes, it does. Goodness, what a clever puzzle. I mean, just bizarre the way this works, but I'm delighted to have got through it. 6, 3. I like the tidy up part of the operation, I have to admit. 2 and 5 down here. Don't give me a deadly pattern now. That's a 6 and that avoids the deadly pattern. We've got a 3 there. And I'm going to put an 8 in here. I do just want to look at these renbans. The thermo's fine, 1 and 5. It looks like the renbans are all good. Are there 4 of them with a 1 on and 4 of them with a 9 on, which was rather what I was expecting? 1, 2, 3, I think there are. I don't know why I was expecting that. There's just a symmetry about it. Anyway, there we go. Well done, SUDOKU. That's clever. That's a very interesting puzzle. Wow, hope you have enjoyed having a go at that or watching the solution, which is really intricate and interesting. And SUDOKU has taught me something about sandwich Sudoku, and I thought I knew quite a bit about it, but those 8-cell renbans were very inventive. Excellent puzzle. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.